Hello, you bastards! I'm Roy.
And I'm Chow. We're from Stone Sour.
And you're watching Grasser Productions.
Hi, and welcome to Grasser Production. My name is Andrea, and I'm here with Johny and Roy from Stone Sour. I'm Andrea. Yeah. And we're here in Munich at their sold-out show today, later on.
Wait, we're playing today?
It's sold out.
Yeah,
It is. Isn't that great?
It's great.
Wait, we're playing and it's sold out?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Better get prepared.
They don't tell me.
Tell us to go to play, that's it.
Well, you're finally back on tour on the streets of the world. How does it feel to finally present your work after a long time of producing an album?
Great.
I guess so.
No, it feels awesome.
More precisely?
More precisely, yeah. It's great. I mean, we were, you know, obviously took us a few years to put these songs together, and it's awesome to watch these songs, you know, come to life in the studio, and then get to go record them the way we recorded them, and then now getting to play them live every night. Yeah, it's awesome. It's a, you know, privilege to be able to do stuff like that, you know.
It's a great feeling. It's you know, we Stone Sour takes a decent amount of time breaks because of Corey doing Slipknot. So, you know, you get antsy, like, okay, we're almost getting ready. We're getting ready. We got these demos ready, and then you finally get in the studio, and it's just like amazing because, you know, you finally see this come to fruition after years of, like Roy said, working on stuff and whatnot.
You look like you're very excited, at least.
Yeah.
And Corey recently said in Frankfurt, we're back in one of my favorite countries in the world. Is Germany one of your favorite countries too?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, most of my touring life, especially coming to Europe, most of our tours have always been in Germany mostly, and it's pretty much a second home to me. I lived here actually at one point for a little bit.
Where is it?
I used to go to Dortmund a lot, you know, and I stayed there a lot. So I'm pretty familiar with that area, like Dusseldorf and Cologne, and you know. But yeah, Germany. I mean, it's always a great time here. Never ever had a bad time here. It's always been great shows here. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite places.
Yours too?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as far as this is not like this state, but it's like Texas is a huge state. There's many cities to play. Germany is a huge country that has many cities to play. Yeah, and the catering is always spot on.
He's right about that. Like, you know, in America, you can do a tour just in Texas if you wanted to. It's huge. You could easily do a 2-week run in Texas.
Just like with Germany, you could do 2 weeks in Germany, all the different cities. Yeah.
And what are the differences to other countries you play? To you, like,
in what respect?
So that you really like Germany a lot, and like more than other countries, maybe. What is so special about Germany that you like so much about it?
I don't know. I mean, I just like. I guess maybe it's more familiarity. You know, I've been here a lot more than other countries, so I have more of a connection with. Me personally, I have more of a connection with Germany's, and I'm used to it, and I have a lot of friends here. So yeah, over the years. Yeah.
And with your latest album, Hydrograd, you hit the bullseye in the music fan and in the chart world. How do you write such a masterpiece, and where did you get your ideas for that album from?
I mean, honestly, we got together here and there, like Chow was saying, like we would get together, you know, a couple times, you know, throughout the year when Corey would have a break. We'd write songs together and just email them to each other, and you know, put them together that way. And then we get together, we play these songs for real, and you know, record them at my house, and then elaborate from there, live with them for a little while, and just watch them grow. You know.
The cool thing is that everybody in the band wrote. Everybody pulling from everybody's different backgrounds. I mean, Roy and I and Tooch all come from that East Coast, New York, punk rock, hardcore scene. And, you know, it was easy for us to like gel a lot of our music together, riffs, ideas, whatever they may be. And as well as Josh and Corey, everybody wrote, and everybody had a part in everybody else's parts too. It was, you know, It was this group.
Everybody had a hand in like taking a song apart and putting it back together. So that way, every song has a cohesiveness to it. Whether if I brought a song in or Chow brought a song in, and at the end of the day, we all put in our ingredients to it, and then it turns into a Stone Sour song. Yeah.
Right. Let's talk a bit more about Hydrograd. Why did you choose the Sphere Studios in Los Angeles to record that album?
Honestly, it was a suggestion from our producer Jay Rustin, who's done a bunch of records there, and obviously we went and did a walkthrough in that studio, and we fell in love with it. I'm like, this is great, place is great. The owner, Francesco Camelli, was really cool as well, and his staff were great, and he's an amazing engineer, so we're like, why not? This is the place. So we also wanted to go somewhere where Jay Rustin was comfortable with and knew the room, so it wouldn't be any like surprises or fiddling about with getting a sound or this or that. We got in there, we set up, he mic'd it. It was really instant. It wasn't like, I'm there hitting a snare drum for like 3 hours getting a snare sound. It was like we all got our sounds really quick, and then hit record, play. Makes sense.
And like Roy was saying, Francesco Camelli, the owner who engineered the album, I mean, he knows exactly what's needed for everything. I mean, and one of the coolest things about Sphere is everything worked. You go into a studio, everything. Sometimes you go in and, channel 12 and 14 don't work. Well, sure enough, everything was working.
Does that happen often?
Yeah, you can get in there and then, what's going on here? You got the guy tapping on, and as well, Francesco has an array of amazing instruments and amps and drums, and it's just like everything was just pristine. He keeps it all top notch. And
he brought a lot of his stuff from overseas, because originally he had a studio in London, and he closed that down and brought it all over to the States, and then opened it up here. So he's also I don't know if you guys are familiar with Glenn Johns, who did some of the Led Zeppelin albums in the 70s. He was his assistant, so he learned a lot from that guy, and I'm sure from many of other big engineers he's worked with. So he had a really good, he had great technique, and his technique was basically simple: mic, instrument, done. No EQing, no this and that. Just point the thing there. There you go.
And how did you came up with the idea for the album title? What does it actually mean, Hydrograd?
Well, that's Corey. Corey, actually, that's something that happened to Corey a bunch of years ago. I guess he was, to sum it up really quickly, going through an airport, catching another plane, fully jet lagged, hallucinated, saw a word on a gate that he thought looked like Hydrograd, but the word did not exist, and it wasn't really there. So he liked what he thought he saw, so he kept that name and then used it now. I guess, that's probably sums it up, right?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And after Jim left the band in 2014, you brought Christian on board as your assistant on tour. Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, he's a full member of Stone Sour.
Yes, he is.
Did you already know Christian before helping you out, or how did everything come together in the first place?
It was an easy thing. I had worked with Christian in the past in Los Angeles when I used to live there, and Roy had played with Christian in many bands. Corey had stepped in and played with these guys in their band together. I think the only one that Josh didn't know Christian like we knew him. Mm-hmm. But Christian's easily to get a great guy to get along with, so it was an easy thing.
I knew Christian from when I was living in New York. Met him at one of the clubs I used to work at, and then kind of found each other in LA one day when we both moved there at the same time, but didn't see each other for a few years before that, and then ran into each other at some bar somewhere. I'm like, what the fuck you doing here? And then we've been hanging out ever since. And then I ran into him. I met you again at a NAMM, I think, like a 2000 or 2001 even, something like that. Yeah, through another mutual friend of ours, a drummer. Her name is Yael. She actually used to play drums in a band called My Ruin. Maybe you guys might know that. Yeah.
And I was playing in My Ruin at the time, and then we just met up with Roy. And I had met Roy years and years ago in New York when I lived there, but we really reacquainted and got to know each other when I was living in LA.
And you've been living in some places. New York, LA, Germany. That's great.
I lived in a lot of different places. I mean, not just New York, but I did live in Philadelphia for a while. I lived in Allentown, Pennsylvania for a while. I lived in Florida. I lived everywhere. Yeah.
And in July, in Homedale, New Jersey, all of a sudden, Corey Taylor's son, Griffin, came on stage and sang song 3 with you guys. Yeah, so I've heard that Corey doesn't really like his son compared to him. Because I've heard that in another interview that he doesn't really want him to like do the same career or something. I'm not sure. However, but in general, how talented is he?
Got pretty raw talent. I'll tell you this. He came up and did that song with us on stage. He's never rehearsed with the band. And the only thing he's done was rehearse with Corey on an acoustic. That was it. He's never been on stage performing ever. That was his first time ever on stage, and he just got up there and owned it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was incredible. I'm like, this kid's definitely Corey's kid. You know what I mean? I mean, he's great. He's actually working on a band right now. He's putting a band together right now.
Sure.
Yeah, Griffin's awesome. He definitely should. There needs to be another one.
Yeah. And which moments in particular make you personally really proud as musicians, and which ones maybe don't quite do so?
What makes me proud as a musician? Well, to be able to walk into a place like this and know it's sold out, and at the end of the day I could be like, wow, I helped make this happen too. It's great, you know. It's a great feeling to know that you're able to accomplish something like that. And we wouldn't have if it wasn't for the fans out here, you know, everywhere. So.
How about you?
The same goes for me, you know. It was great to walk out of Sphere Studios knowing that like we all just created something. Like you just feel like it was a really proud moment for me. I've recorded quite a few albums, but this album was one that really felt great because we all sat in the studio recording it together at the same time, not sitting there to a grid. Okay, it's your turn, then it's my turn, then it's their turn. It was everybody together all at once, and that was it's really great to be able to feel that kind of energy exchange. You know, when you have that, they say, you know, when you have that magic and amongst the musicians, it's definitely felt for sure.
And other things that don't make you that proud as musicians?
I don't really try not to think of the negative things.
It's a good thing. And you're touring with the band The Pretty Reckless. Did you personally choose them to join you on tour? And why exactly that band?
Fucking awesome. That's why.
That's a
great. Yeah, that's all I can say. They're great.
Yeah.
Great band, great musicians,
they're awesome.
Cool guys, and you know they're doing something I think that's a little bit different than what's out there as far as like, you know, what we all kind of get lumped into, so to say. And you know they're just out there doing their own thing, and I think it's great. It sounds awesome.
I think their approach and their intentions are really natural and raw, as we like that as well. That's another reason probably why we picked them, and we can identify with that. I feel that from them, especially when I watched them every night. I mean, their ebb and their flows are just, it's pretty awesome. I'll let you see for yourself. And Taylor's awesome on stage.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah, all of them.
A few years ago.
Ben's a fucking phenomenal guitar player. That guitar tone he gets out of an ES 335, I never heard like that. It's fucking great. Yeah.
On Friday was Corey's birthday. Did you do something special for him, or did you give him any gifts?
Oh, I gave him the biggest gift of all.
I'm curious.
We made the night really special for him. I'm proud to say that we all did a really cool plan. Tucha and I actually did this sample of basically interrupting the show, and I made a voice of the "Hello, you bastard!" that guy, Sergei Ponzarelli, and basically wished him a happy birthday. Made the crowd sing happy birthday in this voice. It was killer to hear that whole crowd in Scotland sing to Corey, and Corey had no idea what we were going to do. And the look on his face, the surprise look on his face was fucking priceless, man. It was awesome. Yeah, that to me. Okay, I'm gonna answer the first question now. That to me was my favorite show on the whole tour. Was that show because of all that. to watch him smile genuinely like that and laugh.
I would have seen it.
I mean, the love in that room to Corey that night and from all of us was definitely there and genuine. Yeah, it was awesome.
And not so long ago, Corey revealed that you guys have already sat together and wrote on a couple of new songs for a following album. Is that true?
Well, we've all have had ideas kind of flowing around, and you know, when you're sitting backstage all day long, everybody thinks like, oh, you're on tour, you do all this great stuff. It's like a lot of the days you spend in the backs of venues like this, and you're sitting around the dressing room, and I've got my bass, and Roy's got his practice kit, and Christian's got his guitar, and Corey's getting new guitars. So you know, we have the instruments hanging out backstage, and we just start messing around, and ideas are already flowing.
Yeah, I guess he did that. Say that it's supposed to become darker, the new album. Could you tell us something about it?
I wouldn't suggest it's going to become darker. I mean, the albums are going to come out how they're going to come out. We didn't plan Hydrograd to come out sounding like this. It just came out sounding like that. I personally don't like to say it's going to sound like this, it's going to sound like that. Who knows? It could be happy for all I know. It could be dark. It could be in the middle.
We don't know what to expect yet.
I don't know what to expect. I haven't heard it. All I know what it sounds like. I know what it sounds like in my head of what I'm going to contribute and what I'm going to write down when I get a chance when I get home. But I mean, who knows what it's going to sound like?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Anyway, on Friday it was not only Corey's birthday, but you also uploaded a 360-degree video on YouTube of one of your performances in Los Angeles. Why did you decide to do such a 360-degree video? And
that was an idea from Stubbs, actually. He's our photographer, and he comes out with us, and he has all this really cool like gear. He has a gear 360. That's what it's called, I think. And he showed us that for the first time. We're like, yeah, that'd be great. You know, let's do that for live. And it just kind of covers everything. You can see the crowd, the stage, you know, the bands. Everything's all wide angle lens. It looks crazy looking. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we can have an almost real headbanging experience when watching it. We would have loved asking you lots of more questions, but our time is up now, unfortunately. So I wish you all the best for your further few shows and have lots of fun tonight on the stage. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
See you this summer.